Ladies and gentlemen, Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga last week, on Friday to be precise, held a secret meeting in Mombasa. That meeting, according to reliable sources, took close to 3 good hours. And if you ask me, that meeting is actually significant politically speaking. Because number one, when Raila Odinga came back from his vacation, he headed straight to Mombasa. Up to this stage, Raila Odinga is still in Mombasa. Number two, Raila Odinga celebrated his birthday in Mombasa. William Samoei Arap Ruto also spent his new year in Mombasa. So the meeting between Uhuru and Raila, in my view, is significant. So in this video, I want us to do a critical analysis of that particular meeting. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, I want you guys to take a second or two, click that subscribe button, so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want you guys to continue. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. And I want to make just one request this evening. Please give this video thumbs up. Now, let us get back to serious business. And I want to be a bit brief today, but comprehensive. I opined in one of my videos that the politics of 2027 will actually be determined in 2023. And already we've begun the year on a high note. You can see and tell whatever is happening in Kenya Kwanza. William Ruto is already assigning Mudavadi and Rigathi Gachagua specific roles. In Azimio, after Raila Odinga held a meeting with his party delegates in Mombasa, Kalonzo Musyoka got annoyed. And Kalonzo Musyoka is also planning something. Let us wait and see what is planning. But Kalonzo Musyoka is not happy with Raila Odinga because he feels that Raila Odinga is also planning for 2027. So today and yesterday, images of Uhuru Kenyatta in Mombasa emerged. Because the details about their Friday meeting never emerged. But Raila Odinga alluded to it on Sunday when he was interviewed just after church service somewhere in Mombasa. So I want us to try and figure out what this gentleman could have discussed. For me, this gentleman discussed, number one, the future of Azimio. And that can explain why the Jubilee Secretary General, Jeremiah Kioni, had to come out today very strongly to give his opinion about how Ruto has betrayed Rigathi Gachagua. You can't convince me that Uhuru and Raila can actually meet without discussing the future of Azimio. So that was the first thing they discussed. Number two, Uhuru Kenyatta resignation from Azimio. Last year, there were reports that Uhuru Kenyatta was going to resign from Azimio. And that because William Ruto gave him a job, and as a former head of state, he cannot continue serving as a leader of Azimio and get the benefits. So he had to choose one. And that he had been advised by his team and family to resign. And I remember getting some information from a credible friend of mine who told me that Uhuru Kenyatta is not going to resign. I think they discussed the cons and the pros of Uhuru Kenyatta resigning. And from that meeting, I don't think Uhuru is going to resign, but he can resign, but I don't think he's going to resign based on the emerging issues within the political circles. And if Uhuru Kenyatta is not going to resign, what role is he going to play in Azimio? Is Uhuru Kenyatta still going to stay indoors the way he used to do when he was the president because his team didn't want him to campaign openly? Or is Uhuru Kenyatta going to come out forcefully and deal with the Ruto? I'm told that Ruto atapata tabu sana this year, that Raila and Uhuru are planning to show him who they are made of from the opposition side. So let us wait and see whether Uhuru is going to resign or not. Number three, these two gentlemen actually also discussed the fallout in Azimio. Raila Odinga set the record straight that is still too young. Kalonzo Musyoka also made it clear that Raila Odinga must support him. Where does that leave Karua? And where does that leave the unity in Azimio? And is a divided Azimio good for Raila and Uhuru? Those are the questions they might have asked themselves. How are they going to deal with the issue of Kalonzo? Are they going to discuss the issue of 2027 right now? Or is Raila Odinga going to be asked to hold his horses? Kalonzo Musyoka going to be asked to hold his horses? And what is their personal ambitions? So I'm certain that the Azimio fallout formed the basis of this meeting. And as you know, even in the last election, before the last election, Uhuru was the guy who would always be called upon whenever there were issues within Azimio. So probably they discussed the issue of fallout in Azimio. Number four, the fourth objective of this meeting probably was to discuss the constitutional amendment. What approach are they going to give it? What will they put in that document? Are they going to support parliamentary initiative? Are they going to oppose the parliamentary initiative? What about the office of the official opposition? Because William Ruto was very strategic in his approach. William Ruto gave Raila Odinga, in quotes, an office, in the hope that with that office, Raila Odinga will rally his troops to support him in parliament. Then he went and gave members of parliament their CDF in that constitution, so that is going to be anchored in the constitution. He gave senators what is called the Senate oversight, which they'll be using to oversight the governors and also to facilitate them. And the women, he also gave them some funds there in the hope that he will be able, or he was going to be able, to rally enough support in parliament, because for parliamentary initiative, it only requires 2/3. Remember, there was also the gender issue. So all those issues, but William Ruto opposed the BBI on the account that it was going to add additional offices. So basically what Raila and Uhuru discussed was the approach they are going to give it. Are they going to oppose it because Ruto also opposed it in the last election? Or are they going to support it for prosperity? So let us wait and see. But for me, I'll be waiting very closely to see the approach Ruto is going to give BBI. Because the other day, William Ruto was interviewed, while in Mombasa, and he made it very clear that for him, he only gave recommendations to parliament, and that his approach was informed by what he found on the desk. Number 5 objective of this meeting, I also tend to think that it acted as Azimio strategy meeting. What we still don't know is how many people were in this meeting. Because the Uhuru we know, and Raila we know, if they were just meeting without for strategy, they would have shared the photos. But these guys met 3 good hours. No photo, no nothing. What about their allies? Is it possible that their allies were also in Mombasa, but were under strict instructions, very strict instructions, not to share any detail, not to share any photo? So I want to believe that Uhuru and Raila actually met with their strategy team secretly. Because, right now, politics is yet to take shape. Kenyans are just coming from holidays. They are waiting to take their kids to school. So probably they met and discussed strategy. Remember the cost of living in this country, the issues, how they're going to approach the 2027 election, how are they going to deal with Ruto, what is the opposition strategy for 2027, for 2023. So probably these guys met. It's only that because they never shared the photos, we can't tell who and who were part of this meeting. And lastly, you never know. Maybe they were both on holiday. Raila Odinga was in Mombasa after coming from wherever he was. Uhuru was also in Mombasa. And because they were in Mombasa, Uhuru placed a phone call to his elder brother and told him, my elder brother, where are you? Niko hapa. So they went. And as usual, wherever Uhuru is and Raila is, as long as any other person is there, that information will always leak out. So the truth is, these gentlemen met, but whether it was political, of course, in politics, there are no coincidence. It must have been political. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye for now.